Welcome to Permission to Shine, the space where high-achieving women like you come to peel back the layers, overcome what's been holding you back, and rise into your most authentic, powerful self. I'm your host, Sherisse Inner Power Activation Leader and Intuitive Healer, and a woman who knows what it means to look like she's thriving on the outside, also while feeling disconnected on the inside. This podcast is here to remind you, you didn't come here to just perform, you came here to lead with your soul. Your obstacles, they're invitations to expand. And your power, it was never outside of you. It's been waiting within you all along. Each week we'll dive into honest conversations, healing insight and soul-led strategies to help you stop self-sabotaging, reclaim your light and lead your life, your business and your relationships from deep-rooted truth. So if you're ready to rise with grace, softness and fire, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Hi everyone. So I am today joined by an absolute beautiful being, physically, spiritually, all the things that I got to connect with her. And the minute that we sort of met, we just like locked eyes and we were like, we need to speak to each other because we were both bold and bright and all of the things. And I really felt like we were going to have a really incredible conversation. So I am really excited to hear more about Christina, because obviously she's a holistic stylist coach, and I cannot wait to dive into that because I believe that clothes are an extension of how we actually feel. And I always talk about how when I'm on stage I wear shiny things, but that's because I feel shiny on the inside. So I cannot wait for you, Christina, to dive in and tell us all about you. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's just a wonderful welcome that you've just given me there.
Oh, thank you. Well, I mean it. And I'd love for you to kind of tell us a little bit more about what exactly it is you do.
So, I'm a holistic style coach. So, basically, it means reconnecting with your inner core, because with everything that we women have to go through, whether it's experiences with trauma, whether it's menopause, whether it's career changes, all of that, sometimes we feel that we lose ourselves, like who we really are, and we put on this mask just to get through the day or just to get through events or whatever it may be. So it's just about reconnecting with that person that you are. It might sound strange, like, women, I know who I am. I've known who I am for years, but do you really? Have you lost yourself in some way? And then for me, once women reconnect with their core, the styling is easy because once you know who you are, that aligns with what you're going to wear on the outside, and the two connect. And that's it. You're even more powerful than you were before. You walk into rooms, you've got that self-assurance. People are naturally drawn to you, and you can elevate. And I'm not talking about just your personal life, I'm talking about your professional life also. When you talk with more authority, people are just going to be drawn to you, aren't they? So that's basically what I do. It's different from a personal stylist, and I call myself holistic because I work from the inside out. It's a whole experience. So hopefully when I leave my clients, they know exactly what to do for the rest of their lives.
Oh, yes, I love that. And I was nodding away because I was like, yes, 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 yes. And I think that, like you said, there's so much, well, pressure on women as a whole, right? Internally and externally. And I think that
Yeah,
so many women get caught in the external part, don't they? They think
yeah,
that, oh, I need to be this size body weight because that's what's in fashion, or I need to wear these jeans because that's what they're telling me to wear. But actually, when we feel, like we said, when we connect with that feeling on the inside, it actually, what you want to wear becomes, like you said, the extension, which I just think is so important. And so many women always say to me, oh my gosh, I could never wear that color or I can never do that thing. And I'm like, but that's because that's mine, like what
yeah.
you've got to wear for you is different. And when we know that, for me, self-awareness is just the key to everything. So I'd love to know more about how you came across this for yourself. Like, have you always been really bright and colorful, or what was your journey to get here?
Oh, so I always start off with me in a red corduroy dress when I was really young. And I was in that dress in school because my parents couldn't afford the uniform. So I already was standing out and being made fun of, when are you going to get the uniform, by teachers, when are you going to get the uniform? And that was my first true lesson in visibility when I thought to myself, I was angry, I was embarrassed, but I thought to myself, if I'm going to stand out, I'm going to own it. And then I was going to university, I was turning up in exams with a pinstripe suit because I understood that the power it gave me, even though my friends thought, what's she doing? But I knew that I was there to smash that exam, and that suit was going to help me do it, it's going to help me focus. Um, Long story short, I went into the family businesses. COVID came along and they closed. And I just thought, now's my time to do what I've always been passionate about, what's in my heart and soul. I've always been into, telling my friends and family what they should be wearing, how they should be walking, how they should be owning it. And now here's my chance to do it. So it just kind of I just seamlessly fell into it. COVID for a lot of us was terrible, but this is the silver lining for me. I got to do what I'm passionate about. And here I am.
Yes, click, click, click.
Here I am.
Absolutely. Yes, here you are. And I can relate to that so much in quite a few ways, actually. Like one, when you mentioned about growing up and like always being the odd one out, that was
Yeah,
definitely my story as well. And I think about that often and I speak about it often about how I was going to stand out anyway. So why not make that a superpower instead of it being something that I'm victimized by or for, right? So I
yeah,
completely agree with you on that. And then for me as well, COVID was really initiation for me and
yeah,
my journey. So I think that for so many of us, it's a bit like how the rock obviously gets like grinded down, grinded down, grinded down until it becomes a diamond. And I feel like for a lot of us, that breaking point just broke us open into what I think our souls are really here to do, really. And I feel like yeah, it's such a wonderful thing. I speak to a lot of women and hear that COVID was that initiation point for them as well.
yeah. And also you've got to think of where each person has come from. So I've come from a Greek Cypriot background. My dad especially was very strict. So when I was trying to express myself through my clothing or accessories, it was kind of frowned upon in my culture. Even going to church, you're going to go looking like that. For me it was normal, but it was like a big deal. It's not a big deal, is it? And always trying to it's like fitting a square peg into a round hole. Is that the saying? I always get that confused, but that was me growing up. But that uniqueness, and I say that to everyone, is your superpower. It's not a disadvantage. So how you express it, we're all individuals, and how we express it, that's how we're going to stand out. And don't look at, women, especially when they're going through a hard time, they're going through those transitions, they look at other women who they think are successful and they try and copy that style. But people aren't stupid. They're going to see right through that because what's coming out of your mouth isn't aligning with what you're wearing. So there's going to be a disconnect there.
Yeah.
So you always have to stay true to who you are, and you'll find your path. It's just about being confident, in how you express that.
100%. And, I often talk about the performance, like we're all performing. So, like you said, if you're going to
Yeah,
imitate someone else, you're not embodying actually what the essence is. And so that's where people feel the disconnect. So I completely agree with you. And I've seen it so many times. And it's heartbreaking, but also it's an invitation, isn't it? To look within. And I think so many women have been operating from this performative, like copying other people or doing what they think they're supposed to do instead of
yeah.
actually really connecting what is it that I need, what's going to make me feel good, what's going to make me look good. And again, it all starts with that inner peace for sure. Yeah, I love that. And I love that you used to, wear what you wanted to church and all of the things that's such a beautiful.
I was wearing sort of a hand jewelry. It was like a hand cuff, but it was out there, but I just wanted to wear it to church. And my mum was begging me to take it off. I was like, I'm not going to take it off. And it was like that throughout my life. And my cousins always used to joke with me, like, you get dressed up to go to the toilet. Yeah, I do, because first of all, you never know who you're going to meet in there. And secondly, I'd rather be overdressed than underdressed. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I just want to be bold. That's just me. It's just who I am. So I
yeah,
was always trying to express that in one way or another, you
yeah,
know.
I love
And I
it.
say to everyone, you know, especially as we get older, we always think, oh my God, you know, we shouldn't be wearing the bright colors. We shouldn't look too outlandish. People are going to make fun of me. They're going to judge me. Who cares? Have they walked in your shoes? Have they been on your journey? Are they you? Are they paying your bills? Like, do you really care what that other person thinks? Life's too short. You know, life's
Mm.
too short. We've only got one chance here. So just be yourself and express yourself, and you never know what's going to happen.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Absolutely that. And I have these conversations on a frequent level of saying that
Yeah,
to people like, this is our one go. Are we going to play small because of what other people think of us? Like, hell no. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
if we lived our life for other people, we'd never be happy. And
I
so I'd
know.
rather be like bold, loud, and a bit odd and do it my way than try to conform.
Exactly. I mean, it's not for, you know, I say to stand out. It's not about being, you know, shouting and being loud and always wearing the sequins. We can be loud in a quiet way as well. We
Mm,
can stand out in our own way. It's just being, you know, authentic to yourself.
yeah,
That's how you're going to stand out and
yeah.
knowing who you are.
Couldn't agree more. Absolutely that. And I feel like, I mean, it sounds like your story is so layered of you giving yourself permission consistently, which I love. But is there
Yeah.
a real moment that you feel like in your life that you really gave yourself full permission to fully shine?
Yeah. Like now, kind of now is I feel like it's my time to shine. And I don't care about I simply don't care. I didn't care growing up, but there was still that thing attached to me. Oh, you know, what my parents going to think, what my aunties and uncles going to think. There was still that. I was still fighting against that. But now it's like I'm like a tree. I've shed all my leaves, but in a good way. So I've shed all that judgment. And those people that are saying, you know, who does she think she is? Who does she think she is walking around looking like that? I always say I'm a queen. That's who I am. I'm a queen. I've got purpose. I've got drive. People see me, they remember me, they notice me, you know, and good for me. And it's good to be like that. Pat yourself on the back. We as women, we don't congratulate ourselves enough anyway. I know I certainly didn't. Now's my time to do that. And it's never too late. It's never too late to come out and be who you really are. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. And I'm the same. The word I use for myself is audacious because I just don't give any Fs anymore.
Yeah,
And I think that I was so, look, growing up in an area that wasn't culturally diverse, always feeling left out, making myself small, making myself more white to be accepted. There were so many different layers of that.
yeah,
And just feeling like in my own brain, I was so critical of myself all of the time. And it was abusive, really, how I was talking to myself. But again, obviously that's from childhood experiences and it's imprinted. But I when I started to do this work and like really shed all of that like you did, there was something like I feel like it was almost in the piece that I realized that
yeah,
wow, like what have I been doing my whole life? Like blocking
yeah,
myself. So now I'm
yeah.
absolutely bloody not. I'm gonna stand loud and proud. I'm gonna do it my way. And
Good
actually
for you.
I don't care what people think. I really don't. I mean, and there's times where obviously it comes in and out and it depends on it. But
Yeah,
like I said, it's not always about being loud and out there. Sometimes it's that quiet knowing like, oh, I like this outfit. I feel good today. And I feel like
yeah,
that's all it needs to be, right? And I naturally wear a lot of color because I think that that is an extension of my personality. But
yeah,
equally, I think I wore a at the weekend I had like a spring themed party and I wore something that was like paler tones, so it was like pale
yeah,
and things like that. And I thought that's not normally my color choice, but I felt really nice in it. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
that's so
Pretty.
pretty. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think that
yeah.
it's just, we get to play, don't we, with all of this.
Exactly.
I think
You know,
it's
and I always say shop from your wardrobe. So
yes.
let's say a client employed me, okay, to work for them. I wouldn't just go into their wardrobe and chuck everything out and be like, you need to get a whole new wardrobe. That's why I say I start the work from the inside first. The wardrobe is the very last thing to tackle, and it's about when you open your wardrobe. What does it look like? Is it, the hangers when they're all squashed together and you can't even move them and then you always say to yourself, I've got nothing to wear. That's stress. We don't need that when we open our wardrobe. We need to want to be calm. We want to know exactly everything in that wardrobe looks great on us. Anything we're going to put on, we're going to walk out and feel confident. We're going to feel good. We're going to feel ready to start our day. We're going to feel ready to smash our goals because this is all sorted out. Now we have to concentrate on what's coming out of our mouth. So that's half the battle. And don't forget, when people meet you in the first 7 seconds, they've made a judgment on you. Even if you haven't even introduced yourself, they've already made the judgment. Your clothes have to speak before you've even opened your mouth, have to introduce you. It's very, very important.
Mm.
So when we come to the wardrobe part of it, it's about seeing what aligns with you now. Who is the woman that you are now, not who you were back then, because we're always evolving as human beings, aren't we? That means your clothes have to evolve with you. So if there's anything that doesn't fit how you're growing as a woman, give it away, do what you want with it, and then add small pieces that you can jazz up or pair with something else, you know, and do that and just feel good in what you're wearing every single day.
Yeah, that's so. I love when you said dress stress. I was like,
Yeah,
yes. Oh my God, that's so true, isn't it? We all do
yeah,
that. Well, we like have a mental breakdown, we stress ourselves out. And you know what's really funny about that is that when I go on girls' holidays, I always know the exact outfits I'm gonna wear, so I don't overpack. So then
yeah,
when it comes to going out in the evening and you spent all day by the beach or whatever and you're really relaxed and chilled, I don't want to be rooting through my suitcase to figure out what I'm gonna
yeah.
wear. So I'll just have the 5 outfits or however long I'm away for and I'll be like, oh, I'm going to wear that today. And like my friends are like so shocked about it. They're like, wow, that was really organized. And I'm like, honestly, I don't want the stress. Even now, when I have like events or, a night out or something, if I have enough time to plan ahead, I'll make sure that week I know what I'm wearing. So that day of the event or the day of the thing I'm doing, there's no stress there because again,
Yeah,
we want to be regulated, don't we? We want to get ready,
exactly.
enjoy the process. Like there's something so I think therapeutic and also empowering about doing your hair and makeup and like feeling in the zone when you do it.
And there's also
Absolutely.
certain psychology that comes with wearing colors. I mean, that's another podcast, but I could talk to you about that, the psychology of wearing colors. But you're talking about dressing with intention, which is key
Mm.
when it comes to your style. So let's say you've got an event and you want to shop something for that event. You go out and you see a sales rack and you're like, oh my God, that's half price. Right, I'm going to get that. Don't do that. So when you're dressing with intention, you have to shop with intention. Go out and shop for that event only. Only. Yeah. And dress with intention every day. What are my goals today? How do I want to be perceived by the people that are meeting me? How do I want to show up in that room? Do I want to show up as a powerful leader? Do I want to show up as an entrepreneur, someone who's open to ideas? Do I want to show up as someone more calm? There are certain colors you can use to help you do that as well.
Yeah, I love that so much. And I think for me, like most of the time when I'm not in-person events, my day to day, I'm in gym wear all of the time, but all of my gym wear fits me really nicely.
Yeah,
I've got lots of different colors. So when I do put my gym wear on, I don't feel like, ugh. I feel like, and or if I just want to chuck on a tracksuit and be comfortable, I'm wearing it to be comfortable. There's it's not like because
yeah,
I need to be on show. It's the intention behind it is, yeah, chill day today. We're going to just be, relaxed, which is cool. And I think comfortable for me is also a really important thing. But yeah, I loved everything you said there. I think it's just so important. And I feel like yeah, I think especially with online shopping now, it's so
yeah.
easy, isn't it, to get carried away and order lots of things. And I feel like I met have you met Sophia Lortimer?
No,
Okay, so she also does fashion and she talks about sustainable fashion. So you two
yeah,
will get on like a house on fire. So I will connect you both. Um,
brilliant.
and she said to me about fast fashion when I met her last year. And since then, I've not bought any fast fashion
Yeah,
direct from the source. I've ever bought it from Vinted or like somewhere else secondhand. Or obviously if I have bought anything in a shop, like you said, I'm intentional. Like the that gold suit that I have, the sequin one that
yeah,
I went to the event. I was
love that.
dreaming about that suit. Let me tell you, when I saw it in the shop, at the beginning of December, I was like, I need that to come home with me. But it was so expensive. And I was like, I'm not paying
Oh,
money for it. And
yeah.
then literally the week after Christmas, it was half price. And I was like, the universe has come.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was my size. I was like, there we go. I need to have that now. And obviously I've worn it and it was great. But it's just yeah, trusting that. And also not impulse buying as well. Like I think that sometimes we buy lots of different things and then again you end up with a full wardrobe. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, my wardrobe is very full, but I am shopping from my wardrobe, like you
And I
said,
bet you know exactly what you have in your wardrobe as well. You know all of the pieces that you have, don't you?
pretty
So
much. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So that's where we need to get at, especially with when I'm styling someone. That's exactly where I want to be. You know exactly what's in your wardrobe. You know exactly what you're going to wear the next day. Like I enjoy putting outfits together in my head from my
Mm,
wardrobe because I know exactly what I've got as well, and I can do that easily. And I understand that it's not going to be like that for everyone, but that's what I'm here to do, to teach you how to
yeah.
do that. And it's really a good feeling. And do you see the power that clothes have over us? So you wanted that gold suit so badly, like you loved it with your heart and your soul. That's how I talk about clothes. When I see something I like, I'm like, oh my God, I love that with my heart and soul. I've got to have it. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's how you felt. And
Mm,
you the right time came for you and you purchased it and you wore that with intention and you stood out. You
mm.
stood out and it really worked for you because people remembered you when you left the stage as well. You
Yeah,
want that. Yeah,
absolutely. I think that's even with the orange as well, like how
yeah,
that's become my brand. And it's only because I really like orange as well. And I think I have a little story about the fact that when I was younger, I did like this like fair and you got to choose different bottles and it told you about who you are as a person. So all different colours. And I
yeah,
picked all these glittery ones out. And then the lady said to me, the one colour that you're missing, you've got all this like creativity, talent, all of this like extra stuff, this pizzazz. She's like, but you're just missing the orange for confidence. So since I was a little
ah,
girl, that really stuck in my head. So then I was intentional about adding orange into everything. So then as I've gotten older, I just naturally was choosing orange more without realizing. And then it was only when people said to me, oh, you're always in orange. And I'm like, I am always in orange. You know, I've just allowed it to be my brand colors. So
yeah,
yeah, it's just nice. But like you said, I feel like everything it weaves, doesn't it? It has a story, it has a meaning. I feel like when we give life that value, that richness, I think that's when yeah, we truly get to live fully, right? And it be
yeah,
expressed fully. And I think so many women, especially in my work that I'm doing, I really see it, and I'm sure you do too, is that women are underexpressed. And that is
yeah.
causing, I think, so much internal conflicts. They don't know how to express themselves.
I know, I know. It's so true. And it's sad as well at the same time because women are beautiful, we're brilliant. So
Mm,
why shouldn't we be allowed to express ourselves? Because, you know, we've been suppressed for various reasons. You know, we've all been suppressed. So how long is that going to take you to understand that, you know, we're not here forever? When are you going to do it? When is the right time going to be for you? There's never going to be a right time. You're never going to feel ready. Never, ever. So what are your options? Your options are just do it. You know, just do it. And I'm not talking about style here. I'm talking about what you want to achieve in life, your goals, your passions. Just go for it, just do it. What's the worst that's going to happen? What's if you don't try, you're going to live to regret it. So
yeah,
you might as well try it and see where that takes you.
absolutely. I always say if you don't try, you'll never know. And I always want to be in a situation where I don't wonder what if. I want to say, oh, at least I gave it a go. You know, that's
Yeah.
always my life sort of ethos is I just want to throw myself in. If it doesn't work, at least I can say I gave it a try, you know?
Yeah, and let's get comfortable with being uncomfortable as
Oh,
well.
100% that. I
Let's 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 do that because how else do we grow? Doesn't
Exactly.
matter if you're 50, 80, 90, whatever your age, you never stop learning. You should never stop learning. That person that
Mm,
stops learning stagnates,
yeah.
stops completely still. So we should always be open to learning more and more and more, be hungry for it.
Yeah, 100%, 100% that. I love that so much. So I think that I want to know, because I'm sure the audience is listening, they want to know too, is that say a lady approaches you, right?
Yeah.
There's probably listeners right now that are in this mindset and they're thinking, yeah, I'm so underexpressed in what I wear. I don't even know where to begin. Like, I feel like I've lost myself. what would be your like 3 tips for her right now that she could do?
Okay, so we don't want to overwhelm her to start with. I don't want her to think, oh my God, I can't do this. So I would start by kind of finding out what her style personality really is. What is she? Is she glamorous at her core? Is she a bit more quieter? Um, is she eccentric? She likes the more unique stuff. Is she more of a rock chick? Like, what's her style personality? Then let's start adding bits slowly, slowly. Do something intentional with your style every single day. Let's say you're a person who likes to wear just tracksuits. Let's just say you are, okay? Find a tracksuit that's well fitted on you. I'm not talking about completely baggy to not to hide everything you've got underneath. Something that's a bit more fitted. Then add little accessories to that outfit. So a pair of earrings that mean something to you. Someone gave them to you, or you think to yourself, whenever I wear these earrings, I always get complimented on them. Wear them. Go to a coffee shop wearing that, just those earrings. So do something intentional every single day with your outfit, and you'll be surprised at how far that's going to get you. You're going to start feeling more confident. Oh, okay, so I wore those earrings. Oh my God, tomorrow I think I'm going to wear a bolder lipstick. Yeah, I always wear nude pinks. Today I think I'm going to wear bright pink. And then you'll start experimenting with colors. So first of all, let's be intentional with what we're doing every day with our style, and let's start experimenting with some colors. What colors can I add to my tracksuit? Can I put like an orange t-shirt underneath to make me feel confident, so that if I get a bit hot, I'll take my tracksuit top off and I'll have that orange t-shirt on. So small steps, small intentional steps every single day would be my one key piece of advice for that woman.
Yes, I
And
love.
then we would take it from there. Like I've got loads of information. I've got loads of key factors, key points, but I don't want to overwhelm. So my top thing is to create a rapport first with the woman that's coming to me.
Mm,
We might not work together. She might think, oh, she's a bit too much. I might think, oh, she's not completely ready for me.
yeah.
So first of all, I want her to feel comfortable with me, and then it all goes from there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's such great advice. And like baby steps is literally it. Is
Baby steps.
like you said, the earring, yes, absolutely that. The tracksuit is a bit more fitted. Yes, absolutely that. Such great advice. And yeah, I completely resonate with that as well. Like even for myself, I feel like some days I don't wear any makeup at all, and I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm like, yeah, I'm going out. I don't need to wear anything today. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
some days, if I want to feel a little bit more put together, I'll do my eyebrows and I'll put a bit of mascara on.
You
So then,
see what I mean? Or
yeah,
wash my hair.
yeah,
Make
that's it.
sure that's clean.
Just
And even
little.
with your nails, they don't have to be always painted. I don't like that either. But
Mm,
make sure you look after your hands like your nails. Make sure you put
yes,
like those buffers that put a natural shine on them anyway, or just a clear nail varnish on top. You just look put together, you look tidy, you look ready. You look
yeah,
ready. You
and
never know who you're going to meet in that coffee shop.
yeah,
It
and
could be your
also.
next client. It could be like a collaboration. You just never know.
And I think as well, going back to like the inner part of that, is that that's the self-care. Like when we
Yeah,
let the self-care part go, everything else underneath it crumbles. So it's like that small little bit of just filing them down, like you
exactly.
said, or doing that just to create a bit of shape. So they're not all
Exactly.
different shapes or whatever. That just again makes you feel like you've got something together. And I
Yeah.
even say with like my clients, like it is starting, like you said, at the very small thing, like even for me, like with my clients, it's like, did you have breakfast this morning? Like
Yeah,
my
you
little
see.
small thing.
Yeah, yeah, little small things. And also, you said the three key things. Another one for me would be take care of your skin.
Mm,
Like, what are you doing with your skin? But when you're putting on your moisturizers, whatever, are you enjoying it? Are you doing a bit of gua sha? Just to relax you, a bit of self-care, like in your neck, to release that tension that we all hold in our shoulders and our neck, in
yeah,
our heads. You know what I mean? It only takes 5 minutes, especially if you're taught well. It only takes, and with my clients, I teach them that as well. They
mm,
get they get a lot a lot of bang for their buck with me, because that's what I mean. It's holistic. It's not
yeah,
just about what you're wearing, it's about everything. You have to take care of yourself, and then you're going to want to take care of your style. You're going
yeah.
to want to look good, you're going to want to feel good. You just want to be noticed more. You know, you
Mm,
don't want to be in the background anymore. Where's
yeah,
that going to get you? You know,
absolutely.
where's that going to get you? You don't want to look like everyone else. That's not going to help you stand out. And it all starts with those small intentional steps
Mm.
towards that.
And I think that's such a great point, because I think that people would see me and you on the outside and think that, oh, we've always been like this. It's always been easy. Like, it's always been something we've naturally done. And don't get me wrong, there's been an element of that. But also, like you
Yes.
were saying, it's the
Okay.
small choices that we make
Yeah.
intentionally every day. And with that, like any one of us could change how we see it and do life, any other way.
Yeah.
So I feel like if someone is listening to this right now thinking, oh gosh, like, but I am just a real plain Jane, and I've been like that my whole life, but really and truly I'd love to wear bold colors. Like you said, get a lipstick, one pair of earrings, and start just playing with it. And I think that this is the part that I was meant to come back to, and now I have, yay, is the creative part. Because like you said, be creative, play. Like we are like a blank canvas every day, we get to create whatever we want from it. It's really funny as well, because that reminds me of tattoos. So like when I first started getting tattoos, I mean, to be fair, some of my family have tattoos, they weren't too bothered about it, but like people
Yeah.
always question it. They're like, why do you want to put that on your skin? I'm like, this is my canvas. I get to
Yeah.
express myself however I want, and my tattoos are part of my fashion accessory. So I know that the one leg I have tattoos all the way up, I'm gonna have that leg out if I want it out. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. It's not on their leg. Why do they care? You see, it's
Yeah.
that judgment, isn't it? It's that judgment again that we're talking about. And then we think, oh, should I go for that tattoo or not? Do it if it makes you feel good. Do it
That's
if it makes you feel good.
I've
Yeah.
never regretted a tattoo as well, just saying, FYI, people. But even for style choices, I think even there's probably when you look back in time, you're like, oh my gosh, why did I put that together? But at the moment, it was great. So I'm just like, I feel like we are so afraid of what other people think about us that it actually debilitates everything that we
Oh
do.
my God, that word debilitating. It's so true. It's so true. And how sad is that again?
And
And I don't believe in there's no plain Janes. You know, if you met someone that called themselves a plain Jane, I bet if you spoke to that woman and you found out who she truly was, I bet she had some really cool, unique qualities that that
so
other woman next to you doesn't
mm,
have.
I
But
agree.
but how is that person that calls themselves a plain Jane going to express themselves? They could do it in so many ways.
Yeah.
I mean, there are different facets to our style as well. I'm not always in hats, and I'm not always in sort of unique looking dresses. You know, I quite like a bit of goth as well in my style. I wear gothic earrings, sort of chokers. I mix it up.
Mm.
Whatever feels sits right with me inside is what I go for. Does it sit right with me? Right, I'm going to put it on.
Yeah, and I love that. Like you can clash colors, you can mix styles, you can. It doesn't. There's no
It
rule.
doesn't matter. There's no rules. And this, the words like fashion and trendy, oh my God, they're not even in my vocabulary because
Oh,
fashion comes and goes, doesn't it? But
mm,
unique, authentic style is there forever because
yeah,
that's your style. No one's going to be able to copy it. It comes from your
absolutely.
soul.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I feel like the most compliments I get on outfits is when I'm wearing something that no one else would wear. So when it's a really strange put together outfit that I've put on, and all of my family will say to me, no one else could wear that. They're like, no one
That's
else
what I
could
say.
wear that.
Exactly. No one else can get away with that, but you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah. I've got these knee-high orange boots, and well, they're thigh-high actually, and I put them on with anything,
Yeah.
with anything, and they're like, "Why does that work on you?" If I put that work, but again, it's having the audacity, isn't it, to wear
Because
it?
you've got the balls to wear it.
Yeah.
That's why it looks good on you because it's speaking to who you are and you're
Mm,
wearing that on the outside. That's why it looks good on you and it
yeah.
suits you. Yeah.
And I think that like we're saying, like anyone can have that, like, and I feel like for women as well, like I had a client of mine actually, now I think about it, I literally looked at her review the other day, and she bought a pair of gold cowboy boots, and
Yeah.
she'd had them in her cupboard for like months. And then when we started to work together on her birthday, she was like, I'm gonna wear my boots. And then she took a photo of it and then she tagged me in the photo. And I was like, yes, because before that, she didn't feel confident enough to wear them. But she was like, do you know what? You've inspired me. I'm gonna go all out today. And she got so
It's
many compliments
it's
on it.
amazing, isn't it? Do you see? This is why I say the power of styling is so transformational. The
That's
power it can give us, and yeah, it's good to get your colors done, to know your color palette, but
mm,
don't just stay rigid with it.
yeah.
You can still wear colors that are outside of your color palette. It doesn't matter. For me, mustard is just a no-no, okay? But I've still got a mustard dress. I'll
Mm,
pair it though with a bright red lipstick and
mm,
some, silver jewelry, something that goes with my color palette.
yeah,
Don't put yourself in sort of chains and be like, I'm just going to wear what's in my color palette because that's what suits me. You can
yeah.
still chop and change it up.
Even for me with orange, like I like orange and I've got a lot of orange things, but I don't only wear orange. Like I've
Yeah. Yeah.
variety of things that I wear.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the minute we try and put ourselves into a box is when we kind of again can find ourselves. And I think that we as women are supposed to flow and move and weave. And I think having, like we said, this playfulness with what we wear, I think that that is such liberation in itself.
It does, and you attract the right people, isn't it? Do you know what I mean by that? When you are truly in yourself, like when your inside is aligning with your outside, you attract all the right people. Those
Mm,
people want to be around you. They want to collaborate with you. They want to get to know you. Who is that? Who is this interesting woman? And especially since a lot of women now are going into more of the speaking arena.
mm,
Let's not forget there's going to be a lot of speakers on stage. When you come off the stage, you want to be talking to people. You want people coming up to you. How are you going to stand out from that other speaker?
yeah,
Be bold in your choices, especially when you're on stage and you see how much people remember you. They might not remember what comes out of your mouth because we've got a short attention span, but they'll remember what you're wearing. Oh, who
yeah,
was that woman
absolutely.
on stage with that purple sequin suit? Who was that woman with that beautiful dress?
Yeah, 100%. And I
Yeah.
even noticed that recently when I wasn't speaking, I was just attending an event and I wore I think I did like an East meets West outfit because it was International Women's Day. I thought, right, I'm going to add a bit of like Indian jewelry to my outfit.
Yeah.
And I wore that with like just my normal sort of thing that I'd wear. And then like the dupatta, which is the scarf, and I pinned it to the blazer. And I
Yeah.
got so many compliments on that outfit that I'd just thrown together because
Yeah.
I was making an important connection because I feel like culture is something that I talk about a lot. And my family are from Guyana, and there's obviously strong Indian roots there. So I was like, I wanted to wear that as like a homage to my
Yeah.
International Women's Day. But even like the host of the event, well, the MC, she's like this celebrity woman, and she came up to me and she was like, "Who are
See?
you? I need to know you." And I
Oh
was
my
like,
God, I
"Yeah,
love that. Do you see what I mean? Do you see the
yeah,
power of clothing and style? And you know that event we were at together, Rebecca Barr's event, do you know how many women came up to me and spoke to me
yeah,
at that event? Oh my God, I love, what do you do? Oh, I'm a holistic style coach. Of course you are,
yeah,
because what I'm wearing on the outside is what I am on the inside. It's all that we've been talking about. And who are you? How can we work together? I've spoken to a lot of women after the event because of what I was wearing and how I carried myself. It's so
100%.
important. It's one of those key tools that we all need to have as women at our disposal. And
Yeah.
once you've nailed it, you will be you will walk out bold, you'll be visible, you'll be seen, you'll be heard, and you'll be remembered. Isn't that what we want in this life?
Yes, absolutely. And I completely agree with you because I feel like that's been my natural thing as well through making these choices. So
Yeah,
I second that 100 times over. I think if we're just brave enough to go outside of our comfort zone a little bit of our style, just keep pushing that needle just a tiny bit forward each time, you'll find something that lands to you. And equally, like we're saying, that you don't have to be in a bold, bright color if that's not you. But if you've put on that butter yellow dress and it's super pretty and you feel pretty in it, people are going to then find you too, because of the energy behind it. And that's what we're trying to say more than anything. Yes, be audacious and bold, but what that means up for you, not necessarily what it means up for us.
Exactly. So be authentic with it. That's
Yeah.
It's all about authentic styling, isn't it? And also, you could be an expert in your chosen field, but when you're speaking and you're wearing something that's not well put together, it doesn't look good, it doesn't fit you well, there's a complete disconnect there, and your audience, subconsciously, they're not going to trust you. Isn't that interesting? But
It
it's
is.
so true. Yeah.
I completely agree with you. And I love how everything connects to how you feel. I feel like that is the most important thing for me for all of this, is that it's about how you feel on the inside and how it manifests outwardly in the choices that you wear. And I think that is just the most important thing we can think about, because yeah, I think, as we said, as women, we've been judged and
Yeah.
told and all the things for our whole lives. But when we choose
Stress. Yeah.
ourselves,
Yeah.
it's just then we get to make those choices, which is, yeah, just so powerful. I've loved talking to you about this. I feel like it's just such an important conversation. So for
Yeah.
anyone that's listening that's thinking, right, I need to work with Christina, how do they find you? What are your offers at the moment? Tell us all.
You can find me. I'm on all the social media channels. I don't know if you want me to say them now. You can put them on
Yeah,
afterwards.
I'll pop them in the links, but just in case
My
someone's listening.
main one is Instagram. So it's
Yes.
queen.c111. That's my main channel. So just reach out, DM me, and you can book a clarity call with me. And I'm very easy to talk to. I know what I'm doing. So just give me a call and let's go from there, and let's get you visible. Let's get you
Mhm.
visible, and let's get you living your true life the way
Yeah.
exactly how you want to do it.
Yes, I love that so much. I've really enjoyed talking to you, and I feel like I've got some ideas on things for you that I feel like would be really incredible, and maybe it's a collaboration thing, but I'm just going to leave that here. When we come off, I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking. And then yes, to finish off, I always do a soul to soul message. So based on our conversation, what in your heart do you feel like the audience need to hear right now?
Don't be afraid. Stop being afraid of who you are.
Mm.
Your uniqueness is not a weakness. It's your superpower. Once you unleash it in the right way, you elevate everything around you, internally, externally, and the world opens up doors that you would never have expected. Just
Mm.
be bold. Just be bold before it's too late. You
Yeah.
are good enough. You are good enough. You are ready. Just do it.
Yes. Woo!
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Please do like, follow and share with a woman that you know needs to hear these words today. The more women that get to listen, the more impact and change and transformation I get to make into this world, and the light in you shines on others. So sharing that forward is absolutely the mission of this. This is how we all give and get and receive the permission to fully shine. I also have some really incredible things happening this year. I'm hosting the second She Rises event in April. So if you want to find out more about that, click the link in the description. And I'm now newly launching my first ever group program that is called Unforgettable. And it's taking you from performing visibility to embodied authority. So whether that's hosting your own podcast or being on stage or being the leader of your field, and you're ready to fully embody this version of you that has this dream and ambition, that you know the limiting beliefs, the childhood experiences, the generational trauma that has stopped you and prevented you from fully stepping into who you came here to be. This is the space where we get to write a new story, a new chapter in your life. And I'm so excited to hold that space for you. And as always, if you're looking for one-to-one guidance and support, drop me a message, because there's always spaces available for you. I'm sending you so much love.